What is up, YouTube? So we're back with another guide. Like I said, I'm going to be doing multiple guides a week. I want to try to knock these out since my junkies won't be up. I want you guys to have a place to go to and kind of just get all the information you need at the same place. So with today brings Arachne. Pretty gonna do it the same, pretty straightforward. Gonna cover the build, gonna cover why the build, gonna cover the play style, gonna cover the good and bad matchups. Also going to try to give you guys a little bit of gameplay if the opportunity is there for me to show you and explain something through gameplay. And I'm going to keep doing this through all the gods, not just assassins. But I am going to knock out assassins first because they're the ones I know the best and they're the ones I've always covered. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the god builder for our build. Warrior Tabby. So this is going to be right away with this god specifically. People like to go Ninja Tabby, but there's no reason to at all. So if you don't know the abilities, you've got your one, which does a shit ton of damage. It does burst and dot damage. It does healing, which is kind of the key. It's the fact that it's burst and healing. The healing really makes his ability, really makes the kit work. Then you've got your two, which gives you attack speed for 3 autos, and then if you land all 3 autos on the same person, they get stunned. You've got your third ability, which is a slow and movement speed for you, and it drops spiders if they walk through it that does damage. And then your ult is an immunity. You're up in the air, it does a decent amount of damage, and it's really your main escape or chase, whichever way you want to use it. So, we talked about Warrior Tabby. Warrior Tabby, it is what I like, and the reason I think it's best is because of this ability. So your scaling is not super high. On your initial damage, you got 35% scaling in your power. It is extra damage, and because Arachne is all about just early game, you actually do a lot of burst damage between your 1 and your 2, your quick autos. The damage comes out fast, so having the extra damage from Warrior Tabby makes a difference. It increases your dot damage, which is also key, because that's where all your damage is coming from this ability early. Your auto attacks aren't hitting for shit yet. And then also the healing, the sustain, which is how you play this god. This god is about knowing how much healing you're going to get. You have to know when you can take a 1v1. You have to know when you can eat poke running into a fight because your one's about to heal you up for all that poke. So that's key stuff you really need to know and you need to learn. So with that being said, I go Warrior Tabby, and that is why. Simply because of that first ability. Next, you go Heartseeker, mainly for the movement speed, the power, and the extra attack speed and extra damage you get once you have stacks up. It just works with the kit. It helps power spike early, and it's really important that you get that cheap item online to make the snowball possible for yourself. Third item, I don't know if it's not even on there. My third item I go is a movement speed item again, and it is Stone Cutting Sword. A little bit more expensive, kind of makes up for the fact you're getting a cheap item, so you get a little bit more expensive item next, and it just works with the kit once again. You auto attack fast 3 times with your 2, so you always get the friggin' passive from this ability up really fast. You've got a ton of power on the item, and you've got movement speed. Perfect for Arachne's kit. There's literally nothing else to it. Next item is going to be our Kins. Once again, you've got a percentage-based passive, and you've got an ability on you that makes you attack 3 times pretty much near instantly. Along with the attack speed you're getting, the movement speed, everything else, it just makes the kit work. The idea of Arachne is going in, sustaining with the 1, staying in the fight as long as possible, chasing people down with your 3, and just sticking to people and doing as much damage over a course of time. It's not necessarily, once you get out of that early game, it's not all about the burst, it's more about the sustained poke and just raw damage you can put out. So Kins works perfectly. Next, I like to go a defensive item. 100% up to you. You do not have to go defensive item here. You can go full damage, but the defense allows for Arachne to go right into a fight and stay in the fucking fight. People don't realize Arachne, you don't want to waste your ult. You want your ult to be used last. You do not want to use your ult. So having either a Hide of the Urchin or a Spirit Robe, whichever one you feel is more necessary. If you need more health, go with the Hide of the Urchin. If you're good with health, you're not really dying, but you could use some CDR and just the extra defense, go with Spirit Robe. Spirit Robe is my item of choice. I like Spirit Robe, especially if you change up the build a little bit. If you were to go Masamune instead of what I'm about to go, then Spirit Robe would be your item of choice. So last item, I pick up another attack speed item, and it's Executioner. You don't have a shit ton of pen yet because all you have is the passive from Stone Cutting Sword giving you the protection shred. So Executioner is pretty key into the build. And by now, you can dumpster anybody. You just walk up to them with your 1 and your 2 popped. If they're slowed, they're fucking definitely dead. It's really simple. The idea with this build is not to walk through the center of a fight. It's to either kill a frontliner. You can kill tanks very easily with this build. Or if you're able to let the front line move in past you and just get around them to the back line, you should be able to take any 1v1s with this god. Arachne is the best 1v1 god in the game, in my opinion. Beats every single person when played correctly. You have to get severely outplayed to lose a 1v1 on Arachne, or just be really behind. Now, once you're full build, the Heartseeker becomes less and less relevant late game, so I sell the Heartseeker. And here is where you have your choice. You can do whichever you want. I feel like all of them work. So normally I would get more attack speed to make up for the lost passive attack speed, and I'd get Oboe. Mainly just because you fucking shred people, and it's hilarious to see the Oboe bouncing around just destroying everyone. I love Oboe. You're usually in the middle of people on Arachne. It just works out that way eventually because you don't have a lot of mobility. So Oboe helps you shred, just faster attacks and everything along with your kit. Or you can get more movement, and you can get the Masamune, however the fuck you say this item. If you do that, you're just replacing the movement speed from Heartseeker, and you're getting more power along with the passive, which is going to work well with the kit, with fucking Kins, and just the way Arachne's going to be played. So those are your choices. Like I said, I prefer Oboe over anything. I just think it's awesome. If you need more defense, you could even do that, but you'd be missing out on a little bit of attack speed that helps you shred. So there is my full build. Ability-wise, you're maxing your 1. You're maxing your ult. The ult is pretty important to max because of the cooldown, which allows you to go into fights more because you have escape up more often. I then max the 3. Mainly the 3 because the slow duration is awesome. I think it's really good. Plus, if somehow your spiders don't get killed, they shred. They also help you kill Gold Furies early, which is awesome. So I max my 1, my ult, my 3, my 2. Pretty standard when it comes to Arachne's ability build. You really don't change up too much. Now, we'll talk about matchups a little bit. Like I said, Arachne should win all the 1v1s. The problem is getting into 1v1 situations doesn't happen that often. Now, if you can get in anyone's face on this whole god list, anybody, you will win. You will kill them. It's simply that straightforward. There are some matchups that are a little bit harder. The 1v1s might be a little bit different. We're not going to talk about the good and bad matchups yet. I just want to break down one matchup that people always bring to mind in 1v1s, and it's Kali. So the 1v1 versus Kali, you should always win. Basically, you play off of the fact that you can heal and kite. So you'll pop your 1, your 2. You'll get the Kali to beads. The Kali usually fight through the beads, use their stun. Basically, you just want to kite through it, use your 3, move around as much as possible, wait for your 1 to come back up. And then whenever Kali ults, you wait out the ult, land on top of Kali again, pop your 1 again, and boom, Kali should be dead. People just seem to struggle with that 1v1 for some reason. I really do not know why. Like I said, everyone else you should beat in 1v1s. Najah can be a little bit more difficult if you pop spiders and then the ring bounce hits all 3 of your spiders, or both of your spiders and you, all 3 of you. Kind of hurts, and it can be hard to deal with, but assuming you don't get ulted, you should be fine. Everyone else, very good matchup. So I lied. There is one matchup that's not a very good matchup. Serket is probably the hardest matchup for Arachne, in my opinion. Serket just has too much mobility for you to stick with, along with the fact that you can stop the healing with Serket, or Serket can stop your healing on Arachne, can really lock you down and just stay away from you the whole time, can get in and poke you and run away without ever eating the autos. Now, if Serket's out of position, you'll kill Serket just fine. Everyone else should be easy matchup. Warrior-wise, really don't mind any of the matchups. Just have to position well against most of them. Robin is probably the hardest out of everybody, mainly because of the immunity. If Robin immunes one of your auto attacks on your 2 and you don't get the stun, it's a lot harder to kill a tank. Everyone else you should shred. You can stun Guan out of abilities. You can stun Amma out of shit. You can stop, if you play properly, you can use your ult and stop Vamana from dashing away. I just don't like Robin. Everyone else I have no problem with. Osiris can be a little bit more annoying too, but not as difficult as Robin. Next up on the hard matchups would be, trying to think. Guardians are all fairly easy. You should shred Guardians. Just destroy all the Guardians. To be simple. Sobek might be the hardest. But if you're going against a Sobek, you might want to swap out one of your items for a Wingblade, and then you should be fine to stick on Sobek through the ult and just kill Sobek. It's mainly the knockback and the fact that Pluck can put you out of position that makes Sobek more annoying, just like Mercury in the last video we talked about. Mage-wise, all the mages should be easy. The more mobility you have, the harder it will be for you to stick on. But aside from that, you shred fucking everybody. You literally shred everybody. You hard counter Ao Kuang. The fact that you can stop the invis from being as potent as it really is when escaping or trying to get into fights. Arachne counters that. Spiders reveal stealth if you did not know. So gods like Loki, Ao Kuang, Izanami all get really, really hard-bodied by Arachne spiders, as long as you're not missing them every fucking 3 seconds. But all the other matchups, pretty standard. Just the more mobility, the harder it is for you to actually kill somebody and stick on them, which can cause you to be out of position. Anyone that can hear you pop your 1 and instantly get away before you get that lifesteal off is also very bad, because if your 1 is down and not used and you eat poke without getting the heal back, it kind of fucks you over super hard. ADC wise, like I said, you hard counter Izanami. Some matchups that can be a little bit more difficult are going to be the ones that can just kite you, but Wingblade can usually change that. So Shibalanke can be annoying because of the slow, but if you have a Wingblade, it shouldn't be an issue. Same with On Her. The slow can be really fucking annoying. Same with Hou Yi. But aside from that, as long as you're positioning well and you're not being dumb, you should be just fine against those gods. Neath is a very easy counter for you. Neath backflips, you drop spiders. Neath dies. Scotty, anyone with no mobility, I'm using Cab, Artemis, all very, 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 very easy for you to kill. Medusa's easy for you to kill because the spiders just chase, and it's pretty simple to stick on Medusa. And that covers everybody realistically. Now, when you're looking at your own team comp for what you want on your team, you're looking at pretty much anyone that guarantees clear early game out of the mid lane. So Ra would be good, Zeus would be fine, Janus would be fine, Thoth would be fine. Scylla would be a little bit more rough because Scylla's clear isn't great, but Scylla would also be fine. With Arachne, you're looking to kind of play your own game. You're not really trying to set up your team. You're not trying to be the one initiating for your team. You're a hard assassin, meaning you want to do what you want to do. You want to get on the targets you want to get on, and that's all you need to worry about. So when you're playing, keep that in the back of your mind that just because your Ra's ult is up and he wants to ult somebody doesn't mean you have to run at somebody, get them stunned with your 2, and call that shit out. That's not your job on Arachne. Your job is to get farm, snowball, take camps, fight 1v1s, win the fucking game off of that. And that's it. So I hope that covers everything. Since I'm beginning jumping back into this, I feel like I keep forgetting things. Oh, there is one thing I forgot. There is one thing. Almost forgot. I forgot this on Mercury. On the God Builder, we're past items, right? Well, you need some relics, right? So relic-wise, you're looking at beads like 99% of the time. Pretty key, especially if the other team is any CC at all. And then your other active is really up to you. So blink will allow you to blink right on top of your target, which is amazing on Arachne. You blink, drop spiders on them, and they really get fucked on it. It's insane. But it's a little bit more risky when you do that. That's usually a situation where you're actually able to engage. You kind of have to read how the game is going or how the team comps are based. Is the other team have hard engage? Do you have engage? Are you kind of counter engaging? How is the fight kind of breaking that down for you individually and as your team? So you can go blink as your second active. Aegis is usually the most safe one. Sanctuary, whatever the fuck it's called now. Sanctuary works the best overall, because if you're out of position, pop Aegis, you should be fine. You can bait a lot of abilities with Aegis. Because you have no mobility, the Aegis would be very important if you're getting fucked on or you're just out of position a lot or the other team's able to engage and you just can't do anything. So look for Sanctuary, look for Bees as your main active, look for swapping out the Sanctuary for Blink. If you're just destroying everyone, you can go Sunder for fun. If killing tanks, if they just have a ton of tanky targets or the tank on their team is always out of position, you can grab Sunder just to kill the tank faster. You can get Wrath Hog, but you don't need to. There's no reason in my eyes. Every other active is fairly average. You really don't need a Curse, and you really don't need a Sprint because you have movement speed and you have a slow in your kit. No point on wasting a relic spot for those. So hopefully that helps you guys. If you have any questions and if there's anything else you want to see, just drop it in the comments below. I want to make sure I cover everything that you guys need. That is the goal of these videos. So if you have any kind of ideas that you want, just tell me. Simple as that. And I will do my best to add them into the video. Hopefully this video helps you, and be looking out for another guide coming very soon.